to welcome Dr. Srivatsa Hosur Srinivasan, M.S.Ramaiah, University of Applied Science, India, for his presentation. The doctor, your mic is muted.
Am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Am I audible? Fantastic. Okay. I'm just sharing my screen here. Correct. Can you not see my presentation?
Yes, doctor, we can see your presentation.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and Srivatsa from Faculty of Management. M.S.Ramaiah, University of Applied Sciences. This research was done along with my student, who graduated recently, and research is all about an exploratory study to identify gender-based purchase behavior of consumers of natural cosmetics. All right, a brief background about as to how cosmetics is defined in India. Drugs and Cosmetics Act of 2008 defined cosmetics as any article intended to be rubbed, poured, sprinkled, or sprayed on, or introduced onto, or otherwise applied to the human body or any part thereafter for cleansing, beautifying, promoting attractiveness, and altering the appearance. So this is how the cosmetics is defined as per the Cosmetics Act of 2008, which is an amended act. All right. We also know that what are the harmful effects of using synthetically manufactured cosmetics. They are harmful to the consumer's skin, hair, and they're harmful to the environment as such in terms of the disposal, in terms of the manufacturing processes, and it also adversely affects the reputation. All right. One of the key questions is, why did we take up this particular study? Okay, what is the importance of studying male consumers of natural cosmetics in India? Right. Earlier, the cosmetics was predominantly, the cosmetics amongst males included only moisturizers and aftershave lotions. But later on, we came to see that, Indian consumers have come a long way. The market value has increased from close to around euro 1.16 billion. It is 1.169 billion in India now. We also see that some of the statements given out by CEOs of various cosmetic brands and the salon brands across India, where they say that 25% of the revenues comes from the services offered to the men. That means to say that the men are increasingly using cosmetics and salon services, which also has witnessed that 32% growth in the rate of men's cosmetics in 2020-22. All right. So predominantly, we see that the men's cosmetic brand and men's cosmetic usage is exploding in India. All right. Now, if we compare the global natural cosmetics and Indian natural cosmetics, okay, this table gives us, close to around $30.5 billion in 2018. It was around in 2018, it was $30.5 billion and expected to reach around $50.5 billion in 2027. This is the market size of the natural cosmetics globally. In India, the natural cosmetics has been growing by around 17.27% cumulative annual growth rate. Okay, this has surpassed the world's growth rate of natural cosmetics. That means to say that not only the cosmetics usage in India has been increasing, the increasing usage by men. Not only the cosmetics, even there is an increase of natural cosmetics and such. So that means to say that this area requires some kind of study, a research study as to why men could be using more natural cosmetics. Okay. So that particular curiosity led us to research this particular area in the men's usage of natural cosmetics. Okay. And if you see some of the historical facts, men started to be a part of cosmetics movement from late 2020s, okay, to support their wives and all these things, okay. Predominantly, we also saw that the research has been done amongst the women who use cosmetics, not the men across the world. Okay, there is very less research which has actually researched why men use cosmetics and why men use natural cosmetics. So that being the foundation, that being the observation, we thought that let us research this particular fantastic area as such. Okay. Now, what are the tools that we have used? We have predominantly used a particular, a model which is very popular in the consumer behavior, consumers purchase behavior. It's called the theory of planned behavior. Okay, theory of planned behavior states that behavioral intention is the antecedent to a purchase behavior. That means if I have to purchase a particular product, whether I have the intention to purchase that particular product, that plays a key role. Okay, and what are those factors that explain or that influence the behavioral intention? Those factors which I'll be telling in this particular presentation. What is the attitude? How is attitude? Attitude refers to the degree which a person has a favorable or an unfavorable evaluation or appraisal of the behavior in question. Okay. The key question is, do I exhibit a positive attitude towards natural cosmetics, or do I exhibit a negative attitude? So positive attitude, I could be exhibiting as a consumer, saying that, yeah, it's good for my skin, it's very harmful, it's not harmful to me and the environment. Okay. Some customers could also exhibit a negative attitude, saying that, oh, it's a very high priced, I don't want to use a natural cosmetic. So we are try to capture the attitude in this particular you know in our modeling. Second factor that influences the behavioral intention is the subjective norms. Subjective norms refers to perceived social pressure to perform or not to perform the behavior. All right. So let's say in my home, I have all my relatives, yeah, my family members saying that, hey, you should use natural cosmetics. Yeah, otherwise you'll be harming the environment, yeah, or whatever it is. So there is some kind of a social pressure on me. So the perceived social pressure, or probably my colleagues say that, look, you belong to a university which promotes green, right? Green marketing and all those things. So why are you not using natural cosmetics? Is another question whether I use cosmetics or not. That's a different issue. So subjective norms refers to the societal issues that influences me to buy or not to buy. Perceived behavioral control refers to perceived ease or difficulty in performing the behavior. Okay. Difficulty in performing that. Is it easy for me to buy a natural cosmetic? Is it easy for me to apply a natural cosmetic? Is it easy for me to dispose of a container of a natural cosmetic? All these things comes with the perceived behavioral control. So perceived ease or difficulty performing the behavior is assumed to reflect past experience as well as anticipated impediments in obstacles. Do I anticipate any impediment in the usage of natural cosmetics? That's one of the key things. Okay. So there we go. This forms a very foundation of the theory of planned behavior. When we looked at the literature review, when we reviewed the literature review, when we critically reviewed the literature review, these are the research gaps that we found. There is less of research that had been conducted to study purchase behavior towards natural cosmetics by male customers. Predominantly, our research, whatever research we came across, most of the research focused on why women buy cosmetics or natural cosmetics. There is very less research which actually specifically pinpointed as to why men buy natural cosmetics or why men use natural cosmetics. That's fantastic. Second thing is, internationally, there are very few studies that have compared male consumers' purchase behavior to female consumers' purchase behavior. There is very less research which has actually compared the male versus female, that is men versus women. All right. A comparative study is a huge, input for the marketing companies as such. Okay. Are men different from women in terms of the, purchase behavior? So the marketing companies can make use of this comparative analysis. All right. Third important thing is the comparative studies of male consumers versus female consumers' behavior towards natural cosmetics using theory of planned behavior. Theory of planned behavior is a very vital consumer behavior model, consumer buying model, which has been used in the research done on women. But a comparative study of men versus women. First of all, the comparative study between men versus women was very less. and that too using the theory of planned behavior as your more or less. So that means to say that this gave a good backdrop as to this is one good area of research which is not being researched. So which will be of significant use not only consumers, not only marketing companies of natural consumers, but also a contribution to the research which is already existing in the consumers, cosmetic buying behavior market. So we decided to go ahead with this particular research. What is the problem statement which we defined? Problem statement: how are men and women of India different in their purchase behavior of natural cosmetics? How are men and women of India different in their purchase behavior of natural cosmetics? Are they different? If they're different, what way they are different? So the aim of the study was to identify the variables that determine men's and women's purchase intention and purchase behavior towards natural cosmetics in India, and to compare the differences between male and female consumers in the Indian context using theory of planned behavior. So when we look at this particular model here, there is also one factor that influences attitude, that is the product knowledge. Okay, this is an extension of the planned behavior, theory of planned behavior as such, where the product knowledge also plays a huge role, because if I have to exhibit a positive attitude towards a particular product, that means to say that I should have a prior product knowledge, isn't it? If I have a prior product knowledge which helps me, shape my attitude towards a purchase or a avoidance of a particular product. So product knowledge becomes a very key aspect of sales. Now, Now, in terms of the research, the sampling method, sampling size, we went in for a convenience sampling because this is a natural cosmetics, all right? So there were around 335 respondents, everyone about 25 years of age. Okay, 25 years normally we are taken because, we wanted to avoid the student community because we wanted to take only the working community where, predominantly the working community where they could afford the natural cosmetics and such. A description of the sample, we had close to around 54.6% of the respondents were women, 45.4% were men. And amongst the total sample, 43.9% of respondents were married, whereas 56.1% were singles. Okay. So out of the 335 respondents, only 7.8% of respondents were not aware of natural cosmetics. Okay. So that means to say that 92.2 were aware of natural cosmetics. That means to say that there is, in terms of the men versus women, there seems to be a fair distribution. In terms of the married versus single, there seems to be a reasonably fair distribution. And the people who knew natural cosmetics were 92.2%. That's quite a good representative sample, we thought. All right. And amongst this total crowd, close to 79.4 of the respondents said they use natural cosmetics. Predominant sample size, predominant proportion of sample size had already used the natural cosmetics, whereas 20.6% said they did not use natural cosmetics. That means we have we have the some kind of a right sample which are picked up. All right. The day the data data was the 5-point language questions. And processing outside the natural cosmetic stores kind of
Hello, can everyone hear me? There's a connection issue with Dr. Rosa's presentation. Just wait for a few minutes, please.
So I think we would let for both in the and
Can you Sorry, everyone. The network for Dr. Srivas is a bit low, so we'll just take a few more minutes until he joins again. Thank you.
Shortly, like the pathway features of the uh, they have results. Results for male and female customers. The product knowledge and perceived behavioral control had a significant positive impact on retention, which proves that knowledge about the products leads to purchase behavior itself. So, what is the outcome for the market? Companies predominantly should try to educate the customers about the natural cosmetics, okay, because that is going to play huge influence. Sorry for that. Very, very sorry. Ah, all right. So, very, very sorry for that. All right. Okay, fair enough. Thanks for that. Thanks for closing my video so that some data can be shared for this particular presentation. Okay. Similarly, perceived behavioral control and attitude towards environment and natural cosmetics had a significant impact on both male and female customers. Very, very interestingly, subjective norms do not have a significant impact on purchase intentions, both male and female customers. So that means to say that I am not influenced by my peers, my relatives, whether I should buy a natural cosmetic or not. Go by my own knowledge, my own set of assumptions that I have. I am not influenced by anybody at all. And my attitude towards environment, natural cosmetics had a direct and purchase intention and indirect effect on the purchase behavior. That means to say that it has got a direct effect on the purchase behavior. So similarly, that means to say that we have found out what are the important relationships between the various factors, in terms of the purchase behavior and the influencing factors. These are the important hypothesis testing results. So, what are the limitations of the study? Limitations of the study, we could have considered a larger sample, but this research came out of a MBA thesis. Okay, we are a we are a research-oriented university where we also have a medical college. So, we could have large study, but since the time duration was very limited, we had to restrict our sample size to 335 $4. Quite a representative sample, I should say. All right, quite a representative sample, but we could definitely go on improving the sample size. Second thing is we did not check whether there is a moderation effects of education and income levels in the purchase, which we could have checked. Okay, that's our limitations as such. My sincere thanks goes to my MBA dissertation student, Miss Anusha Tengli, with whom I co-authored this paper. And secondly, not secondly, I should thank MDPI Journal Cosmetics for publishing our paper, which has Scopus top-rated paper as such. And my sincere thanks to Scientex Conferences, especially Christina Dias, whom I troubled a lot by not sending my presentation on time. I should be very honest in accepting because there are too many things here. Okay, my thanks to Christina Dias and Scientex Conferences, for giving me an opportunity to present my paper in this amongst the esteemed gathering here. All right, these are the references, the literature review that we did. And where I come to the end of this presentation. Thank you. In Hindi, we also call it Dhanyawad.